Spawning in the bottom right now in the red. He is PSISTORM game. He's got the best PvP in the West. It's MaxPax. His opponent, the young gun from Canada. Give it up, folks. It's TriGGeR. And Garden, those GIF emotes are horrifying. But I'll take it. All right, so MaxPax, of course, this is Curious Minds, and TriGGeR and MaxPax both. They say, yeah, we're going to opt into the memes. At the very least, at the very start, we're going to see a low ground expand coming in from both players. Low ground expand now coming down from both players here. The question, though, is whether we opt into Phoenix play. Because... well, actually, we saw a lot of Phoenix play. We saw, what was it? 2 games. No. We saw 1 game of Phoenix play on Blackburn and 1 game where MaxPax kind of opted into it. Hero didn't, and then MaxPax found himself a lead with 5 Phoenix and still played a ground-based style, because it's really hard to play mass Phoenix against ground. It used to be a thing. It used to be viable, but just because of how economy scale and Legacy of the Void, it's not nearly as powerful as it once was. So if you do end up going Phoenix play and your opponent does not, what you do is you get 4 or 5, you exist on the map, you find pressure, you kill workers, but you don't go more than that. You just stay at 5, then you do your ground transition, and you use the Phoenix to keep your opponent off your back while you do to make that ground transition, theoretically, from an economic lead. But for now, of course, both players, they've opted into the Stargate play. Both players, Naturals at fairly decent times as well. MaxPax, Stargate slightly faster, Next is slightly slower. TriGGeR, Next is slightly faster, Stargate slightly slower. Same deal. That really should not impact things all that much. Big text. Exactly. Oh, you're saying for the channel point rewards. I don't know that I can do that necessarily. I don't think there's anything I can do that changes the size of text in Twitch chat. But anyway, MaxPax opting into Phoenix play, and TriGGeR, well, he's got an Oracle on the way, which is unfortunate, because it's a lot harder now for Oracles to get anything done. As the first Phoenix is gonna be out on the map here, he's gonna see the Stalker, Stalker's gonna see the Phoenix, and while the game does go on, TriGGeR trying to take advantage of the fact that he has gone for things that actually do things against the ground to put some pressure down onto MaxPax before that happens, but it is still only 1 Stalker to 2, so it's still complicated. In fact, TriGGeR will barely, I think, keep the Stalker alive. Meanwhile, on the other side, Phoenix, it's just going to camp the Oracle, and there's no shield battery here just yet. So this Oracle, actually with the Stalker below, TriGGeR's doing a nice job, and the Phoenix will not go down, but we'll get rather low. But here comes the second one, and this is something that MaxPax has killed Protoss players with before. Many Protoss players with before, actually, where you go with just a couple of Phoenix and a couple Stalkers and you just put pressure on. But losing that 1 Phoenix early is not the best thing. We're going to see a second Stalker fall due to the Oracle. And actually, this is a nice little bit of a position here for TriGGeR. Now, he will lose that Oracle, I think. And yeah, there's nothing saving this one. The shield battery is going to keep it alive for a time. But with nothing actually targeting these Phoenix, it's not doing all that much. Now the Phoenix are forced back. And that being said, though, there's no shield battery in the main base. And that's fair, Nightguard. No, I do appreciate it. It's also horrifying. It's horrifying in the best way possible. Oh, that's unfortunate. I was going to say, I like this. Yeah, just take a 3rd base because, well, it's not like Phoenix can kill ground units. But, okay. Oh, Oracle finds man to the other side, gets 2 workers. And there's no shield. Well, there is a shield battery here, but the Probe's going to get pulled back at that one. And Oracle running out of energy. Stalkers or Phoenix are going to be able to chase it down. But this Oracle has actually found a lot of value this game. It killed a Stalker, got a couple workers. It forced the Phoenix back home. That could have been a lot worse. That could have been much, much worse for our Protoss player. That's not descriptive for our Canadian Protoss player. But instead, it's kind of fine. And also, I want to point out, TriGGeR, if he's able to get away with his Dark Shrine without it getting scouted, which I don't think is likely, but if he did, there's no detection in the game for MaxPax. But now Oracle finds its way into the main base of TriGGeR. Probe's going to get pulled into the natural. Stalkers have to rotate to deal with that as the Phoenix. Now they say, there's a glut of probes in the natural. Let's get something a little bit more. And they get 4 more workers. So MaxPax finds himself about 5 workers. And he's going to get a Stalker for his Rebels as well. Oracle now back in the main base once again, but with the Stalkers here, Oracle can't get all that much done. Dark Shrine on the way, Blink as well, and do we have any detect? I mean, technically there's an Oracle, but it's rather low. There's still no Robo on the way. I guess MaxPax is just going to try to defend with cannons and be aggressive with Oracle revelations, because he knows that this Dark... I'm pretty sure he knows that this Dark Shrine is here. I mean, he sees it.
I am here in the shadows.
Okay, Robo is on the way now, and I guess luckily enough for MaxPax, because the Dark Shrine, the Dark Templar actually could have gotten a lot of value. We're not seeing anything get warped in. It's kind of the old, you know that I know that you know that I know that you know that I know that nothing's going to happen. So, because MaxPax scouted the Dark Shrine, TriGGeR doesn't really do anything with the Dark Shrine, which means MaxPax didn't have to react to the Dark Shrine. Triple bluff here, but now MaxPax trying to find a little bit of pressure, but of course with shield battery, it's not as easy. And of course Phoenix are fantastic force multipliers, so we see one stock on the left side gets lifted up, so no blinks there. Shield battery recharge though does get popped, and MaxPax is gonna be forced back. TriGGeR, nice job, he kills the stalker. Tore JPL for channel points, 69 points for a group of 69. I do not live anywhere near JPL's debut. Person on my thesis committee works at JPL, but I live in New Hampshire, and that's in Pasadena, so that's not going to happen. As Stalker's not blink forward, we're going to see one Phoenix go down. But still, 4 workers have died. The Phoenix have been tremendously valuable in this game, mitigating most of the damage from the Oracle, although TriGGeR did a good job with that. Killing off about 10 probes this game, serving as that force multiplier outside the third base to get a couple extra Stalkers, but TriGGeR, his +1, okay, it's a little bit slower. But his supply is not in a terrible spot. His economy is just fine. Really, the big advantages we're seeing out of what MaxPax has done is the fact that his +1's faster, the fact that he has a Templar Archives faster, and I believe, yeah, his Gateway Explosion's coming a little bit faster as well. 4 more are on the way. TriGGeR only on 4 base. TriGGeR's cutting a massive corner here. He's not going up to 8 bases, or 8 gateways, excuse me. He's taking his 4th base before that. And he says, you know what, MaxPax, I don't know if you're going to push me hard enough. We're going to have to see whether that is proper and true. But now, Phoenix is going to fly over this, but of course, TriGGeR can't jump on top of it because the Stalkers and MaxPax are there, and he's going to try to find his way up the high ground, but doesn't really have the vision for that, so it's a little bit spooky, but MaxPax blinging backwards anyways, is now, okay, TriGGeR does have... Okay, there's a subserver. No, he did have the vision for that, okay. Meanwhile, the main base Oracle flies in yet again, gets 5 more probes, and we're talking about how the economy had stabilized. Well, no longer. Actually, that's not even true. I guess TriGGeR was up in workers for a second, but now he's down once again. $69 points for a group of 69. I'm not really sure what you mean by that, Zebia. You saying 69 points to cast around best of 69? Please no. I don't want that. No one wants that. Stalker now, though, they're going to get massively stasis trapped, and now we're going to see MaxPax do what he can to try to capture as the Oracle's on the other side, but that's just going to be, that's just free real estate here for MaxPax. He's going to knock down this expensive unit. There's no escaping Phoenix, so that is going to go down here. And meanwhile, what are these? Okay, DT's on the left side. Finally, we see TriGGeR trying to do something with it, but in the last minute or so, we've seen the supply massively open up here. Stalkers now, they're just going to be able to retreat backwards. But what TriGGeR's trying to do is he's trying to force MaxPax away from the base to the point where he can run these DTs in and finds the value. Now, of course, at this point, cannons are in the mineral lines, or at least in the 3rd mineral line. Not the main and not in the natural, but in the 4th base and the 3rd, which are where these salient points are. But really, the name of this game is a TriGGeR that is... It drips and drabs behind us. Now DTs are going to run in, but there's a cannon there, so really not much is going to happen with this one. Now DTs, they're going to find that the 5th base of MaxPax is going up, and that's an advantage for a little bit of worker damage to happen. Phoenix going to lift up the DTs, though. 3 workers died. And in a game as passive as this, it feels really bad to be the player that's behind me. So you just don't really have opportunities to find advantages. Now the Stars, they blink on forward. MaxPax running forward to the charge lot, so it's really hard for TriGGeR to take this fight. +2 is done for MaxPax in just about 10 seconds. He's right beforehand, but it's going to TriGGeR in the middle of the fight. Shield battery overcharge does get popped. Stalkers of TriGGeR, they blink forward. But the army value, the army complexity of this army for MaxPax is really impressive. Is now more, it's just pure blink Stalker here for TriGGeR. His +2 is not yet done. It is for MaxPax. The Zealous run forward. It's so hard for the Stalkers to take the fight. But as he runs back into shield battery range, if he can get a really good concave, maybe that's going to be what he needs. And now we're going to see the Oracle stay alive And in 10 seconds, well, TriGGeR will have his +2 as well. It's going to be an equalizer there at the very least. And Archon dies, and TriGGeR now, he finds himself up about 10 army supply. He is actually doing a really good job on this hold. But a bunch of Zealots on the right side trying to make something happen because TriGGeR's army, all these Stalkers, is kind of a death ball. Meanwhile, Zealot on the other side is cannon. It's not going to get much of anything. And now TriGGeR, he's trying to find some value here, trying to knock the 5th base down. And the second Archon falls, more and more Zealots running their way on in, but it is still +2 versus +2. This is a massive concave here for TriGGeR, trying to break down the wall that is MaxPax. He's actually got this Onaga as... No, he doesn't. But this is a massive concave lead here for TriGGeR, and he thinks he's got something, but shield battery overcharge keeps MaxPax alive. And even still, we're going to see the Warp Prism go down. No, TriGGeR does not jump on top, and now the Stalkers of MaxPax looking forward. And that concave that TriGGeR had, it's not really there anymore, but he does have the vision advantage. That much is very much true. I want to see him trigger that. There we go. No, he just gets the Immortal anyways. Too much damage from the one tap from all these Stalkers here. But MaxPax now, he's the one starting to build elite Stalkers. A little bit far away, warp in position, a little bit further away from TriGGeR here, so it's a little bit hard. But now the Stalkers of MaxPax, they blink forward. Zealots running around as well because MaxPax, he senses big weakness in this game, but I'm not sure that he does because TriGGeR now, he's building himself that supply lead. His concave is again better. The Stalkers, they continue to fight better here. And TriGGeR in the push me pull you on Curious Minds, he's going to be able to wedge his way back once again onto MaxPax's side of the map. Now, of course, MaxPax, he's up 10 workers, and he is technically up a base. TriGGeR's not mining from his 5th base just yet. And also, his +3 will be faster. But remember, that was a 2k resource loss differential. It's now down to 1. TriGGeR has taken some incredible fights in the last minute or so. Now he's going to go try to wedge his way into the 3rd base. MaxPax wholly defending the 4th, and it's really not a lot of Stalkers just yet, but TriGGeR could blink on top of that one, but he doesn't know what's behind it, so he will be careful. Meanwhile, on the right side here, too many Stalkers for MaxPax at the moment. Zilla as well, so TriGGeR does have to back up, but he does have a cannon. Actually, no shield batteries on this side. That's a bit unfortunate, but he does have a cannon at the very least, so he's going to be able to deal with this one. More and more, what are those? Zealots warping in here there for MaxPax, trying to make this happen. And as more Zealots around, the Stalkers continue to die, but TriGGeR warps into the right side as well, so he's going to be kind of okay with this. Again, his +3 is not done, so the Stalkers are actually much better. And there's no, again, no shield battery. It's a big problem. Good disruptor flip there from MaxPax, or from TriGGeR. MaxPax, at least he gets one though. Oh, but look at this flank coming in there. TriGGeR is looking for something, but MaxPax does not go down the ramp in that direction. Disruptor shot though, TriGGeR paying attention to that one. And I thought this was going to be a dominating win for MaxPax in game number 1, especially the way it started. But TriGGeR's doing a great job in this game. This is where it gets awkward though. He's been surrounded here. He's down an upgrade, and as active as he's been, we see the economy of MaxPax really starting to bear fruit. Yes, TriGGeR's on 91 workers now, but that is new. That is fresh. It's not what we've had. And again, disruptors are just making it harder because TriGGeR cannot blink aggressively. He can only blink to dodge the disruptors. He cannot find value. Big concave now. Disruptor shots going to find their way in, and it does find something. And now we saw that big supply lead for TriGGeR. It's not there anymore. MaxPax is 192 supply to 134. The last fight TriGGeR took was just game breaking. It's really unfortunate. He was looking good for the moment, but now this 5th base is going to go down. TriGGeR's got a base on the bottom side, of course, but I'm not sure that that will really matter because it's 92 army supply to 33. TriGGeR blinks back for the disruptors, but the base goes down, Rum's running away, and MaxPax takes game 1. But my goodness, TriGGeR made a game of it. In the bottom left now, in the red, he's up 1 game of the series, playing a masterclass game 1. It's MaxPax. His opponent in the upper right, in the blue, not all that far away now. He is, for the super team, TriGGeR. And I love how I absolutely cast a cursed TriGGeR in that game 1. But TriGGeR, he was not looking all that great in the early to mid game. It was really awkward opening for him. But he found that timing right on the 9-minute mark where he was just finding pressure everywhere. He really recruited a lot of resources lost. And he almost made it happen. And then he kind of got sectioned off and he lost all of his army at once. And it's like, okay, well, that was unfortunate there, TriGGeR. But you were making really good moves. You're making really good moves. honestly, that hard emote, Night Garden, I thought it was like a Zerg emote. I thought it was like a Neuro emote, but you have many emotes, my friend. Well done. Also, are you a fan of Night Garden, or does your name come from something else? Like, I don't know, you like to garden at night, you like night blooming flowers. Okay, MaxPax, open up, well, with the Stargate in this game number 2. It's not going to be, is this, no, it's still single gate expand, but it's single gate expand with a much faster Stargate than you would normally get on a, well, it's Stargate into an expand. And this is something that MaxPax has been doing, and I talked to other Protoss players, and they say it's nuts. It's insane. And it is, because there's no ramp to defend in the natural, but you do have that main base, the main ramp to return to, and in all honesty, like, if you lose the natural, but it's a one base all in, you're still gonna have more workers. So it's something that MaxPax can make work. I don't know that other people can necessarily make it work, but MaxPax, he certainly does. But Oracle now on the way. TriGGeR, of course, his natural is just going to be half a build time slower, and this is one of the reasons why when MaxPax was just going 1 gate expand on every single map and every single game, is the big reason why we saw Protoss players just all inning him. I mean, that being said, you of course do not have Stalker leads here, so Stalkers of TriGGeR, they're going to find their way to the main base. They're going to say, hey, there's a dead Stalker. And yeah, Zealots are annoying, and one of these Stalkers from MaxPax is rather low indeed, but Oracle pops out. It actually good body block there for MaxPax. It will be able to get both Stalkers, but it's a scout, and that's a lot of energy off the Oracle, which minimizes its total worker harassment potential. And also, TriGGeR should be well prepared for this, but 2 Stalkers for 1 is really not what you're looking for. Maybe losing a Zealot for that scout is fine, but losing the Stalkers, well, it just feels really bad. And also, you're already economically behind. You know, you're already not in the best spot because your Nexus is much later, and the Oracle, if any gets anything more, is gonna really accentuate that. But for now, Stalkers are in a good defensive spot, and more Stalkers warp into the mineral line. So the Oracle really is not going to get much done. Again, actually going to get rather low indeed. But the natural now done for TriGGeR, and surprisingly enough, I guess because of the Stargate MaxPax cut probes, TriGGeR's equal on economy with MaxPax. Now MaxPax, of course, has a lot more stuff. TriGGeR's probe count, at the very least, is superior. But MaxPax now running out of the other side of the map with the Void Ray, a couple Stalkers, the Zealot, an Oracle eventually, and just this feels like Clem. Oh yeah, I have a Cyclone, and I have a bunch of stuff that belongs in a kitchen sink. Let me see if I can do something with it. And it certainly is. He does have more stuff as TriGGeR commits pretty early. Well, actually not all that early. +1 in Blink as a third base as well. But he's got to be able to defend the natural. We actually have no shield batteries in this game. TriGGeR's just, he skipped them. And now these 4 Stalkers, the Zealot, the Void Ray, they're going to be hard to contest. They truly are hard to contest here. So we're going to see Pylon go down to start. TriGGeR will now be supply blocked. And well, we're going to see a couple Stalkers go down pretty damn quickly. We're going to see 1 go down, 2 go down. Void Ray doing what he can. Oracle arrives here as well, killing off a lot of workers. And the Stalker count for MaxPax is just damn good. That really is the problem. Yeah, 1 Stalker's died for MaxPax, but he's killed 5. More Stalkers rally across. And is MaxPax just killing TriGGeR with this? Is this really happening? I mean, this is classic MaxPax. But it looks like it's happening. We're seeing another Stalker eventually fall there for MaxPax. The Oracle has to be careful, but he's just getting better trades. More Stalkers have died for TriGGeR than for MaxPax by a significant margin. Now the Oracle choosing not to die. Oracle really should have dove into the main base, and that would have really been the kill move. But still, MaxPax, he finds himself up 10 workers. If we look at Stalker's last count, it's 10-4. Yeah, losing the Void Ray is annoying, but this is very happy now for the Danish sensation of the Prince of Denmark. And MaxPax will still get a Stalker from Max. No, he's going to get 2 Stalkers from. No, he's not. Okay. Not going to look to chase that down anymore. Is Oracle now looking to fly in? And again, no shield battery. Not enough Stalkers. So 1 worker goes down. That's going to be about that, though, because Stalkers can blink back and chase. Oh, okay. Just 2. So of course MaxPax, his upgrades will be delayed. TriGGeR does have +1 done. And that is something. I mean, technically it does mean his Stalkers are better pound for pound. And of course MaxPax also, his third base much lower. So TriGGeR can recover this economic deficit. He can build 3 probes at a time. He can chrono them out. MaxPax just cannot match that economic production for the moment. MaxPax active on the map once again. And while technically TriGGeR, you know, he's 3 bases, he's okay. MaxPax's economic advantage is still there. So 12 stalkers are going to wind their way onto the other side. Yeah, +1 versus +0, but there's no shield battery. MaxPax just going to kill that anyways. He's going to force a cancel. And MaxPax does have more stalkers, of course, but +1 is still a powerful thing. Defender's advantage is still a powerful thing. Next, these are really nice plays here from TriGGeR. MaxPax continues to punch his way in on the right side. It's a bit of a flank, I guess, for one stalker that finds his way in. And even still, it looks like TriGGeR should be able to defend. And he does. So MaxPax has to run back now. But Oracle dives in the main base, dives in the natural. Now, there is a shield battery finally in the main base, so not a lot of work or damage either, but MaxPax just really enforcing his will right now. He's forcing TriGGeR to react to him rather than the other way around. And considering his upgrades are slower, that really does feel bad. That's not exactly what you're looking for if you are if you're in a PvP. Okay, so now a charge on the way. +1 just about done. MaxPax will be able to do things again. Because realistically, I mean, he was able to be aggressive, sure, and Stays Trap's going to go down, but TriGGeR deals with that one. Targeting it down, so not even a worry. He may have been able to kill the Oracle in time. Only 2 stalkers, I'm not sure. But he went for the sure move. That is, we can absolutely respect that one. But now MaxPax, he's on upgrade parities. +2 is, well, actually +2 for TriGGeR is going to be done rather soon. But with charge done here soon enough, and with MaxPax's 4th base on the way, he's going to try to make something happen. Now, push on the left side, and actually MaxPax just has more stalkers here, so he blinks forward and knocks down 1 stalker, but that's going to be just about that. And stalker on the bottom side of TriGGeR, I don't know what you're doing there, bud, but he's going to be able to get away with that one, and that is something. So stalker's on the right side for MaxPax. What he's doing now, he's just denying the 4th base of TriGGeR. I mean, yes, if he gets a killer move, he would love to, but by posturing here, he's just making it really damn hard for TriGGeR to be able to take that 4th base. Meanwhile, of course, MaxPax has his 5th on the way, really leveraging this economic lead that he's had the entire game. I mean, look at resources. Oh, we don't have that graph. Never mind. I was gonna say look at resources lost, or resources gathered. More mining rate differential, whatever you want to call it. We don't have that extension mod. It's not made with this game. But anyway, MaxPax adding on in a robo base well for disruptors. He's going to find his way into this 3rd base location. Zealous run forward, but of course shield battery overcharge really invalidates a lot of their damage. Now TriGGeR playing on forward, and he does have an upgrade lead. So these stalkers are powerful. These immortals are powerful, and he does have a superior concave. So if there's a fight he wins, it's absolutely this one. He's gonna not chase the sentry going down. Okay, so now MaxPax's 5th base is done. His upgrade is now finished. So, and TriGGeR's not quite as far ahead with +3. So MaxPax is a little bit more of a timing win. Well, actually, upgrades are fairly equal as MaxPax is just kind of out of position. But actually, this is pretty cool. TriGGeR adding in 1 Colossus. I don't know if he's going to go anymore. But adding in that 1 Colossus does mean that the heavy charge slot focus that MaxPax is going for is actually not all that great. Just heavy bonus damage to light units does make a difference. But DT Zealot's forfeit, that is a disgustingly large Orthosis pylon. It doesn't mean actually MaxPax is going to be able to flip the upgrade advantage on his head. He's going to get the forge. +3 will be denied, and that is a massive deal because that's been the one big thing that has been keeping TriGGeR in this game. It's been his ability to say, yeah, I'm up on upgrades. It's okay. But now the Zealots, they run forward. Colossus is trying to body block. Meanwhile, MaxPax, he blinks on, or TriGGeR, excuse me, blinks on top of the Disruptor. MaxPax does not get the shot he's looking for, and shield battery overcharge is nice. But Zealots continue to just chew through these stalkers because, of course, their blink was used. Flanking, yeah, not even a flanking Disruptor. Disruptor shot does go down, but MaxPax is forced out. But he doesn't really care because he's tearing apart his opponent's main base and his natural. That shield battery, that single Orthosis pylon is such a big deal. And the Zealot continues to kill this Colossus. In fact, yeah, this Colossus is just dead. I talked about the idea of, well, you know, Colossus is actually fairly nice, but it does not matter because MaxPax, he finds his moment. In 12 minutes, he kills TriGGeR, and he moves on to the next round.